All right, I'd like to call to order the Westerly Public Schools School Building Subcommittee meeting for Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. The time is 6 o'clock. Members present are Chris Duhamel, Audrey Fover, Dan Lathrop, Kristen Federico, Mark McKinnon, Dr. Alicia Story, Dr. Mark Garceau, Mike Ober, Cindy Kirchhoff. Did I get Giuseppe Giacarelli yet? No, I did not. Myself, Justin Hopkins. We also have Phil Overton as our town council liaison, and our guest from Downs Construction, our owner's project manager, Deb Reed. The first order of business is approval of meeting minutes from our April 24th, 2024 meeting. If there are no modifications, these went out with the meeting invitation. If there are no modifications to these, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Okay.
I'm gonna recuse.
You're gonna abstain, right?
Abstain.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
No. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. One abstention. Okay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval of invoices, and I believe we have invoices. We have one from TSKP, two from DBVW, and three from Downs Construction. Four from Downs Construction Company. Okay, so we're going to do this in lightning round fashion. We'll start with TSKP Studio invoice number 230601-10 dated May 6th, 2024. Invoice total $240,214.24. This brings us through construction documentation and 1/4 of the way through bidding, which is basically where we are in the project. Are there any questions for Deb related to this invoice? And if there are none, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. The next one from DBVW Architects, invoice number 2318-11, dated April 23rd, 2024. This is for both. This is for both Dunn's Corner and Springbrook schools. The invoice amount is $29,650, and more or less the current billing is basically bills out CDs and into a little bit of bidding. So, are there any questions for Deb related to this invoice? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. The next one from DBVW is invoice number 2356-02, dated April 18th, 2024. This is for the Springbrook Elementary School roof replacement. Billing $19,504.47, mostly from the construction documentation. As we know, we've already received bids, so they're probably a little behind in their invoicing here. But any questions for Deb on this one? Okay, is there a motion to approve this one?
So moved. Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay, and if you don't mind, Deb, what I'd like to do is read all four of Downs invoices at once and take one motion.
Sure.
If that's okay with you. Okay, so we have our monthly OPM invoices. The first one, and you're gonna have to forgive me, so these are broken out according to the project, and they're all a percentage of completion. We have our, you're gonna have to forgive me for a second because everybody does their invoices differently.
They're on the screen too, Justin.
Yeah, that implies that I can read that. Yes, okay, I got it. This is from your packet?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We have Downs Construction invoice number 8 for OPM services through April 2024 in the total amount of $29,165. As you can see, the amounts are there for Dunn's Corner in the amount of $7,160, Springbrook $7,160, State Street $13,395, and for the Springbrook roof replacement $1,450. Are there any questions for Deb on this? And if none, we'll entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. Now that we can pay the bills, let's go to owner's project manager / architect update. Now you'll note that we only have our owner's project manager here this evening, mainly because, so we have this, from DBVW, we have at our last meeting, we approved the Springbrook and Dunn's contract tower construction, as well as the Springbrook roof replacement. So there's no new information tonight from DBVW.
Well, except that we went to the school committee and
Yep.
We were approved to go to contract,
Yep.
which is fantastic.
Okay, but I'm explaining why nobody's here
Oh,
tonight.
exactly, right.
There's no real presentation. And similarly for State Street, we are out to bid, and bids are due next Friday.
Bids are due the 17th, yes.
17th.
Next Friday.
Okay, and at which point we'll know a lot more about the world in which we live. So,
Fingers crossed.
we're in, as we had mentioned at the last meeting, we're in the best shape that we've been in so far in the project. Our delta at each stage has gotten further and further down, and we feel like we're within striking distance, but the bids for State Street will let us know for sure. But Deb, if you want to take it away for any
Absolutely,
other.
and I'll jump to State Street first since we're speaking of it. And we're getting some excellent participation on that project, and I'm sure tonight, because tomorrow at noon is the RFI deadline, that TSKP is working on answering the dozens and dozens of questions we've been getting every day. So we're getting some really good input from the companies that are looking at it very closely, and so hopefully we're going to get some good numbers because of that. So we're working on that. We finally had I had a response from Don Reynolds from the Senior Center, and we have a meeting next Thursday at 1:15. He asked us to join the Board of Directors meeting, and so we'll be there. Justin, Dr. Garso, you're certainly invited to come along if you would like. I'll be there with Julia and with Andrea. We're going to present and make them comfortable. I think we're going to have to tell them they can't have those 2 modules at the end of the school that they want for storage, but.
Yeah, there was a request to salvage a piece of State Street for storage for the Senior Center.
The one closest to their parking lot,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping that doesn't, sour future collaboration with them, but yeah, so that should go very well. I'm glad we finally got a response out of them. TSKP is hopeful that they'll have TD approval tomorrow from RIDE. That process has been working out with the new RIDE reviewers that have been hired by contract, and we're kind of working the bugs out on the Springbrook roof project as well. That one really got held up, but actually I were on a meeting last week with the reviewer and got through quite a bit. So he's moving forward quickly, and Julia has got just about everything worked out in DD. She has CD ready to go, so that shouldn't be any issue at all. So hopefully we'll have CD approval by the time we're ready to award the project. That's the idea, because we can't really go to contract without RIDE approval. So that's what's going on with State Street. Dunn's Corner, as Justin mentioned, we had approval, we went to the school committee, had approval on everything there. And I'm working on the AIA contract right now with Eileen. So hopefully we'll have that over to the solicitor by Friday for his review, and we'll get that signed. There's nothing holding that up. The roof replacement project, we have two caveats on that. One is the RIDE approval, which they're working on, and the other is the funding, which I was just talking to Cindy about. Because it's a next year's budget. It actually won't be approved until July 1st. So we're gonna have to try to figure out if there's anything we could do between when school lets out and July 1st, possibly drop material, drop equipment, or if that's going to put anyone in a bad light, we'll have to talk to the contractor about not even mobilizing until July 1st.
But they wouldn't be invoicing until the end of June anyway, right?
Until right, well, they wouldn't have, yeah, if they did anything that last week, they wouldn't have been invoicing until
The following
June
month.
for payment in July.
I think the mechanism is just to make sure that, though the town council has approved the budget, which includes those capital funds, but that approval doesn't become live until January 1st, right?
No, July 1st.
July 1st, sorry.
I don't know if it can wait till January.
Jesus, I just skipped 7 months. Doesn't come live until July 1st. If there's a letter that the town needs to write to say the money's in place, it just doesn't become part of the fiscal year until July 1st. That I would expect that to satisfy the contractor to be.
A notice of
comfortable.
award already
Okay.
went out, those two explanations.
Okay.
Commercial roofing is working on their submittals, but it comes down to when of course, they're chomping at the bit because it's a summer slammer.
Mhm.
So it comes down to when we can tell them they can do something on site.
The
So,
last day of school is the 20th, June 20th, right?
right,
So
but
have we, I'm guessing nobody's sticking around, are they?
well, it's not so much about the school, we can certainly coordinate that with Steve, but, actually, Andrea, it's about the actual funding. You wanna speak to that, Cindy?
Right, so an invoice, even if received in July, if it's for June work performed, is not eligible. The work performance has to be July 1 or after,
Right.
because the funding is not available till July 1.
We can certainly tell them that they have to, and if they wanna start before July, when they have to roll that work into July. Explain that to them, but Cindy's concern was actually being on site working and possibly having another situation like with the field where we had material show up and people were asking who
Right.
ordered material.
Well, this is a little bit.
This is approved, that
Yeah.
wasn't approved yet. I think
Okay,
there's a different perception there. I think if we can get it with the builder, I don't think there's a concern. I mean, it's already approved,
mhm.
waiting until July 1st could delay the project, it doesn't seem to make
A
sense.
whole
Yeah,
10 days?
10 days, yeah,
12
and that,
days, yeah,
for a
good.
roofing where they're trying to get 3 roofs in this summer,
Exactly.
I think,
Ashley was when we were sitting down looking at the schedule, he was thinking that they'd be able to work when school was out, but they couldn't bill until July. But that does make sense.
Yeah.
But if we tell them they can't invoice until the end of July, so if they want to start work in June, you go ahead, but you can't give us an invoice for any work in June. It has to be called for July.
Yeah, it can just
it's
be.
prep work.
It's
Free prep
Doesn't make
work.
any sense.
That
It's,
doesn't make any sense.
It's a lump sum contract.
but the requisitions typically cover a pay period that says, pay period, this is an application for payment for payments up to,
Right,
The
we
date.
don't want one that says June 1 to June 30.
no, but if they have material procurement, have them submit an interim payment application on July 15th and then get one for the end of July. And we just do 2 pay apps for
We
the
can
month.
certainly do that.
Yeah.
If that helps. But, when we talk about it as it gets closer, if we feel comfortable telling them they can start when school is out, or at least mobilize, or at least drop material, it's gonna be helpful.
I mean, you've given them the way to cover the town is just say any work that's done before, that we've given you a notice to proceed. Any work that's done prior to July 1st, is done at their own risk, until the funds technically become available. Usually the letter of intent is enough to give, they're presumably already working on submittals and stuff to get to the architect, right?
They are.
Right, well, here's a tangent here. Can we actually sign the contract before July 1st?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, these are town procurement rules. I'm assuming we can sign a contract, but as long as we don't pay anybody for work within the prior fiscal year.
Okay, all right, I mean, because we wouldn't want them to work without a contract, that's right.
Well, we also know that we need to sign all the other contractors prior to June 30th in order to
Absolutely,
qualify for our reimbursements,
right.
or incentive reimbursements.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
That's about it. All the excitement going on.
Can you send out a meeting invitation for this Westerly Senior Center? And I think Audrey did it.
Oh, I
probably.
can attend.
Yeah.
Certainly, that'd be great, sure. When is it? Next Thursday at 1:15.
You gotta let the groups that meet at 1:15. Yeah.
Well, it is the,
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they usually like serve lunch at certain times, so you're getting in there when they're there.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay. Anything else for Deb? Okay. Capital projects update. Mark, you had mentioned.
Yes. I want to look at the high school locker renovations. We've got the estimates back, and I just want to present this to the committee. We voted last time to go out to bid, and so here is what the estimator is looking at. So base bid is at 860, and then all the alternates listed there for a total of 1.36, 036. So just looking for direction, do we continue down this path? We go out to bid, maybe we get some midday savings and we can afford some of the alternates. Currently, capital has 837,000 allocated towards the locker room renovations.
And so what would be the bid schedule for this? Like, you haven't gone out to bid yet.
Not yet.
So presumably you'd be putting it on the street next week and then 3 weeks.
Yeah, the standard.
So you wouldn't have bid numbers in until mid-June, probably?
Yes.
Okay. So
Very late in the game.
is this work that's all gonna be done in the summer?
It could extend into it.
Okay.
We would, the idea would be you finish one side, kids could use the new side while you're finishing out the second side.
So, I'll note that the overage that we are on this project is about the same value as the underage that we have on our capital roof project. So I think from a standpoint of funds, the base bid is very close to the fund allocation. And it makes complete sense to have all these alternates listed, so you at least get line items for what they're valued at. I don't have an issue with moving this out. Does anybody else out to bid? Knowing that the current estimate is about $200,000 more if all the accepted alternates occur. But I think we need to get it on the street in order to at least get the base done.
Mark, question for you and Justin, if I may. Are you looking for reimbursement on this project? Okay, has it been submitted for right approval?
I'd have to check with Tracy on that.
Okay. we won't be able to award until, do the same thing as what we're doing with the roof, so. Do you need an OPM, whether it's us or Colliers or whoever, to, I don't know.
Based on these numbers, it might go over that.
Okay, all right.
What's the threshold that we need in OPM? You guys been doing some lobbying at the state.
I didn't want you to get caught in what we're doing, what's going on with the roof right now.
If we don't need, with all due respect to the value that you bring to the table, I feel like this is a standalone project unless we're
I don't want
compelled.
anything to do with it anyway.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel. No, just if you'd want Tracy to get going on submitting that, because believe me, right now, you see what's going on, it's just like a black hole.
So are you looking for a formal motion or a formal?
No, I just wanted to give everybody the information. We made the motion last time to go up to bid. I just want people to be aware of where we stand while we go up to bid.
Okay. Any questions to Mark?
So what are the chances that Ryan won't approve this?
Will they bounce it back like they have for everything else and say you have to fix this, you have to fix this like they've done for the buildings, do you think?
Yes.
You do?
The challenge right now is that because all of the stage 2 applications that are under review with the school building authority are taking up or overwhelming that review process, all of the project-based stuff is being farmed out to a consulting firm, consulting architect firm to conduct the reviews. And there's not the same level of collective spirit. Yeah, we're gonna get all these projects done for all the schools. It's okay, well, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this.
Still looking for excuses.
Yeah.
And experience and knowledge base, actually, there's at least two firms now, Justin involved.
Okay.
I think they're learning quickly, they seem to want to not be the obstacle,
But they are, so.
My real question was, what if Ryan changes it? Will the base bid be at risk? Will they be able to raise the pricing
well,
substantially?
right, they're gonna be looking for any chips on this and all types of things, but I'm sure Tracy's been through this.
Yeah, ask Tracy if there, I mean, this is a ridiculous threshold to have a straight locker room in-kind replacement project meet all of these thresholds for review.
But it's over 500,000,
Yeah.
so it'll end up just like the roof.
Yeah.
It'll have to go through all three stages.
OPM threshold is 1.5.
There you go, you're all set. You're on your own, guys. Let me know if you need help, of course.
Okay. Well, let's see from Tracy what needs to be done.
Wow.
Was that on purpose?
No, you haven't seen me.
Got
looking
something
for
up your
this map?
sleeve.
No, I haven't. How did I get there?
I don't know. Okay. Any other questions for Mark?
No, sir.
Okay.
So you want folks to go forward to bid?
We voted at the last meeting to move
Oh,
this
sorry.
forward. He's just letting us know what the state of the cost estimates are. This is kind of like a speak now or forever hold your peace type of deal. Or at least we're now complicit in the bid. So, okay. Moving on. Anything else, Mark, for capital projects? Next steps, item 8. And I realized that I skipped item number 4, public comment, but lucky for everybody, we have a second public comment coming up. Next steps, we had talked about the communication plan from the principals of the district about the projects that are going to be starting up and mobilizing over the summer so that students know or parents know what to expect when their kids come back to school. And what's the first day of school this year?
Next year?
Next year.
September 7th, I think.
So we're still after Labor Day.
It's after Labor Day, yeah.
It's the best thing on the planet, by the way, to start that day.
Very smart.
So some sort of communication vehicle so that families know what to expect when they come back in September for the students. And at the school committee meeting last week, DBBW had a pretty good plan diagram that showed like the areas at Duns and Springbrook that are kind of going to be fenced off or part of the work throughout the year. We're going to need one for State Street. Because that is the one that's gonna be, you guys are gonna have some fun, to make it work.
Justin, what about, we talked last time about making sure that teachers, especially at, I think, Springbrook, well, and Duns really, to know how they're supposed to be preparing for the end of the year and what in their room needs to
Right,
be.
Ashley has been all over that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know it's been
Okay.
communicated, I've heard,
I've heard tidbits, I
heard-
just wasn't sure how.
I've heard
Meeting
it's been
next
communicated.
Thursday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Tower is, meeting with their subcontractors already, trying
Okay,
to get a handle on what work they may be doing this summer.
good.
But really would like to do the abatement, but they'd also like to do the painting if they're gonna be doing the new flooring, so they're trying to work that out right now. But we're meeting at both those schools next Thursday at 3,
Okay.
And the
right after we
principals,
go to the senior center.
and the principals have earmarked that staff meeting to communicate the plan. to
okay.
their
Which staff meeting, like soon?
May,
Oh,
midnight.
good.
Great. So I will talk with Julie. I know Julie's been straight out, so hopefully after she gets past this RFI period, I'll tell her she's gotta get on the stick here, catch up.
Okay. So we'll need that type of communication for Audrey and State Street. I'll say this, there's no, 100% of the people are not gonna be happy. You're going to hear people that are inconvenienced and will voice their displeasure. That's just the nature of this stuff. This happens with people mowing lawns next to other people. So the best thing that we can do, what's that?
those damn blowers.
Right, leaf blowers. But the best thing that we can do is communicate and make sure that everybody has the opportunity to ask questions. The best thing for students, and to a lesser extent Springbrook, but Duns and State Street, if you can think of ways that, students of the month maybe get a tour of the project site on like a Friday afternoon, or, what's that? Perfect attendance, get, the job sites are gonna run, and you're gonna have communication with the contractors where, maybe there will be a day that the GC can have the workers knock off at 1:00, and that might give you the ability to take some kids. Maybe there's a section of fence that you can kind of clear, not have any scrim on it, so that students during recess can kind of look in and see what's going on. The contractors love it too, because they love to see the kids, get excited about the work that they're doing. So the kids are gonna be all jazzed about it. If there's a way to kind of wrap it up into some sort of,
Community, school
Yeah,
community
yeah,
building, some kind of
exactly.
something. And just walk around, like Audrey and I and Steve and whatever, we can just walk around with a picture of what it's gonna look like. Like, I know you're frustrated, but this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
And we don't have any real beams, but we can find something that we can do a signing that it'll stay in the school.
Yeah,
They
that's
just love
cool.
that.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they love that.
Yeah, that we should-
Well,
I have a question.
way further down, yeah, go ahead.
Is there any way that our CTE construction kids can maybe take advantage of all this construction happening
I would,
with internships or like work-based learning?
let's,
And that's also a good communication platform as well, right?
Yeah.
When they're doing the work.
so it's probably it can be more of a formal process with State Street just due to the size.
Yeah.
And it's, despite the complexity of being on an occupied site, it's a pretty ordinary and simple construction project. But whenever a contractor is selected, why don't we have that conversation?
Absolutely.
Even the art, too, like painting and,
Just
I don't
be
know,
careful,
murals,
because
didn't we talk about maybe a mural or something? on the school?
The workers' comp company is gonna have a field day if someone shows up and there's anyone under 18 anywhere near the job
Yeah.
site.
Right,
So,
that's why you have to have the conversation
yeah,
about
just be really
liability
careful on
and
that.
Well, the mural
what they
could come
might
after,
do.
Yeah,
right?
just-
That
yeah.
could come
Might not be able to be
Always
outside.
after work.
Right,
They might be
absolutely,
able
but
to
that would be real,
Do stuff,
that'd be cool for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like, it will be like a one-to-one employment thing. It's more
No, and
like,
actually,
You
let me
okay,
ask
though?
East Providence, I'm the co-chair for architecture construction CTE in the state. And East Providence had afforded their CTE construction kids some opportunities when they were building their high school, so.
I'd like to
See
talk,
how they did it there.
so not to commingle other conversations, but I'm working with Barrington and they're interested in expanding their CT program to include construction technology. I'd like to have a conversation with you about that.
So the
But-
story, that was at the high school, East Providence High School?
Yeah, well, they did East Providence High School because they have a construction program there,
Okay.
architecture construction program, and, the kids were able, they worked it out where there's too much liability. It's,
Mhm.
with work-based learning, it was our challenge, right, to
Mhm.
get underage kids on a professional work site
Right.
for insurance purposes, and they should have caution in that. But I know that they worked out some opportunities for the kids to do work-based learning, whether that's bringing stuff into their shop and school and build outs for the project, and then being able to observe the installation so there's some creative things that you can afford the kids to do, but, our construction numbers are always robust, and so I think that would be a great opportunity. And again, when you say communication, I was like, well, the high school kids are there talking it up as well, so.
So we're, as a collective industry, the kind of construction industry is I mean, everybody's heard the push for, maybe there's a trades-based, education stream coming out of, high schools. It's directly due to the vacuum of labor and skilled labor that we have in the industries. It started in the Great Recession of 2018. A lot of older boomers, baby boomers, that were still in the market but thinking about retirement, simply left the workforce, and we haven't replenished it, and we're aging out of that skilled labor at a pretty high rate.
And prior to that, to 2018, the everybody goes to college push
Yes.
took down a lot of construction CTE programs, so we're rebuilding that now, and I think it's, with the school-based building projects, it's just a great opportunity for the kids in the community to see how valuable skilled tradespeople are
Right.
and how needed, right?
So you were working with Gilbane on that project, correct?
I wasn't, I co-chair the state CTE advisory committee, so we went and visited East Providence, and they were telling us how they incorporated stuff for the kids to do, so.
That was Gilbane's project, and the
Yes.
project manager was Alita Hall, and I worked with Alita on the Newport High
perfect.
School. So I'll talk to her about how that worked out
Yeah.
over there, because honestly, where we're at the Newport High School, they could probably be doing the same there,
Yeah.
their CTE program.
Mhm.
Great, thank you, great idea.
Okay, anything else for next steps?
I have one that I'd like to bring up. This picture is of the tower over at Ward. There is a lot of antennas on there. First responders are using that, police, fire, ambulance. This is in desperate need of repair, and I'm going to be looking at coordinating, trying to get this brought up to code. But I will need the help of all of those antenna holders.
So what I'm hearing is a lot of town departments are using this, so this comes out of the town budget, right?
There's the amateur radio, there's the EMS, and then there's the fire, and then our stuff.
Is it all current technology?
Well, the great thing about radio is that you don't need anything newer. You just need more distance, which is needs power.
Yeah.
So that's all. Our stuff is new. But the EMS, fire both have 2 each, and you have the amateur radio one, is ham. So,
It's the highest point in town.
yeah,
It is.
sure, the middle school.
Yeah, we're on high roof. Yeah, I thought the water tower on Tower Street was higher.
That's what I would guess.
It's down, that's right. Okay, is that all wood?
Yeah,
Oy.
yep. So first of all, you're gonna have to find some historic restoration
That
company.
can be fixed, yeah.
And
Is it
then-
historic? Let's first find out if it's listed. It is? You're positive about that?
99%.
Okay,
These documents in the stage 2 pregnancy.
okay. Okay, let's look at those documents, because if you go to the state Office of Historic Preservation and ask the question, you'll get the answer that the State Office of Historic Preservation wants to give you, which is yes, everything's historic. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Anything else? Okay, item number 9, public comment. Any members of the public wish to address the school building subcommittee? Bill, do you have anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so I told you all this was gonna be a quick one. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.